Let's Hunt is a video series with tactics, weapons, locations, and other useful tips, always around one particular animal. And this particular animal today is the black-tailed deer. Welcome back to another Let's Hunt. Welcome back to Redfeather Falls. And as usual, let's get the orientation with the help of the in-game map. This is the Redfeather Falls map. You might remember this tent where I started my hunts for the bear bait barrel down here. These are the swamps. So this is way up in the north today. This is my tent where I start. It's up on a hill. It's a good starting place for blacktails. It's not too big, this area, but still it's a very good place for blacktails. There are bears and moose and elk around, but not too many. If we go up here, this is really a lot of black-tailed deer, and this is a good place always to start and go look for them. It's Christmas time of 2015 and there is a holiday event going, and in there's a mission which requires us to shoot 4 black-tail bucks with 308 ammunition. So I'm taking the 308 Anschutz rifle today, so hopefully we can shoot a few of those. We need to shoot all 4 of them in the same hunt. Alright, let's get started. Let's load the weapons. As mentioned, the event wants us to shoot 4 bucks with 308 ammunition, but there's also a competition ongoing which requires the revolver. So I'm taking the 44, and if there's a great buck around, I'll shoot it. I'll have to shoot it below 25 meters to make it count for the competition. What I'm also taking is the new reverse draw crossbow. Let's just look at the animation while this is loaded. So the string is pulled back, making the bow ready to shoot. And this is an interesting crossbow. It's got interesting iron sights, I have to say. If you look through those, you don't see a lot left and right. The metal plate in front obscures the view quite a bit, but you can see the 3 marks. Those are zeroed at 20, 40, and 60 meters. And I have to tell you, shooting animals at 60 meters is kind of hard with this iron sights. The 10-point carbon fusion crossbow has a scope. This one hasn't got one, at least not yet. Maybe there will come out one later. Right now you have to shoot the bow with the iron sights. 20 and 40 meters are fine, but then if you shoot animals at 60 meters, you will have to track them down. So if we have any does around or any other animals that disturb or that call all the time, we can take them out silently. It's quite a silent crossbow actually. I've shot Sitka deer at 20 meters in White Rime Ridge, and there was another one standing right next to it, and it didn't spook because I dropped this one on the spot. So the dying Sitka didn't spook anything, but also the shooting crossbow did not spook the other Sitka deer, at least not the females there. So it's not too loud. I haven't done any comparisons to the 10-point, but to me this is a very nice crossbow. So the plan is to go up north here. There's lots of bears up there, and really I don't think there's any moose or elk spawning up there. They can go there during a hunting session, but in the very north of this map, I don't think I've ever seen moose or elk tracks when starting a hunt there. I used to have a tent all the way up in the north. I used to have bear bait barrels to figure out if that was a good place. So I've started a lot of hunts there, and I've always heard blacktails call. So right now I don't have a tent, so I'll just walk up there, let them spawn there, so we have plenty of them around. Whenever you spawn in an area, you will already push out the animals quite a bit. There's a circle around that tent where you start, so there won't be any blacktails there. And I didn't want to do this here. I really wanted to have the area full of blacktails. At least that's what I'm hoping. So we have left the elk that we're calling. The call came from the far right on the Hunter made map, so hopefully they're now out of reach. And we can focus on the blacktails. And for this mission I have to shoot this gun. I have to shoot this Anschutz rifle. So I will be loud. I will not lure them over towards me, have them come very close and everything, and then shoot one. Really, if I see a buck, I can shoot it with this rifle from any distance. Blacktail deer is fine with this rifle, but the rifle is considered in the same class as the 300 or the bullpup 7mm. But it's a bit weaker than those rifles. But for blacktails and the like, this is just fine, even for longer shots. What I'm going to do now is, if the rain is so loud, I'll have to turn this down. And when it stops, I will turn up the volume again. Otherwise, we hear a lot of rain and it's a bit annoying, the noise of the rain. The rain itself doesn't bother me at all unless I do some longer shots and I get some fog or the animal cannot be seen anymore. But for the normal hunting, the rain is just fine. If you look at the animals in the woods, they start to stick out really once the rain starts, so I don't mind this at all. Oh, hello. We have a spooked blacktail doe running our way. Now she's there. It looks like we have spooked a herd of blacktails, and I'm not sure why. Well, we walked into them, but they never called. We had this call from the elk before, so maybe the timer wasn't quite up yet for other animals to call, and we just walked into them. There's a waterfall back here. Nice scenery with the female running away there. So you will find blacktails, that's not the issue up here. So what I'm going to do, I guess now, is I will look for buck tracks and would follow those if one spooked, because here we have wide ranges, wide views really, especially along the riversides. If you're fairly new to this game, if you haven't really hunted the blacktails, the way they travel is the same here as well as in White Hart Island, where they also exist. The females will travel in groups up to 5 animals. And sometimes there can be a buck or 2 with them traveling. There's more running away from us here. And then the bucks, they don't travel in big groups. There's maybe 1 or 2. A lot of time you find solitary bucks, but a lot of times you find them in a group of females. So whenever you hear a female blacktail call, go check them out. Call them towards you, check out what's coming towards you, and check if there's a buck in the group. The chance is fairly high. So here we have a buck, but the track is 38 minutes old. It walked into my direction. And here is another. So this looks like a group with 2 bucks at least. And I'm looking at the weight information, 55 to 70 kilograms. That is a rather small buck. This one is a female, even though it doesn't say the gender, I can tell by the weight. And here is the other buck, 65 to 80. It's a bit bigger, yet not quite big, not large. It's not guaranteed that the largest or heaviest blacktail bucks will be a good score, but the chances are higher. The heaviest blacktail buck is 95 kilograms. So if you see tracks that say 80 to 95 kilograms, those are the bucks that you want to go after. So tracking up, leveling up on the tracking level, I think is essential for blacktail deer hunting. But if you follow groups like this, if you click every track, you have 5, 6, 7 animals in the same group, and you go click, click, click every track that you find. I found I leveled up on these rather quickly, really. Within a few weeks, I was up to level 20. I really hunted them quite a bit. And you can go up quickly because you have so many tracks when you follow them. So the blacktail bucks go up to 95 kilograms and the females go up to 59 kilograms. So that's a way to hunt them. You walk around or you can even run around and look for tracks, and once you find them, just follow them. You can follow them walking, not a problem. As soon as you come close enough, as soon as they are in reach, which is the rendering distance of about 220 meters, they will call, because whenever there's animals around, the game tries to find a calling animal. So it'll pick one of those, they will call, and you can then crouch, move forward slowly, follow up, or you can call them towards you. There's a black bear, rather small male actually. For a male, it's rather small. So you can see the white views here. You can see moose and black bears easily like this. But also, of course, the blacktails. And another advantage of hunting those is because it's so many of them, you will see them sooner when you walk. You will see one of the animals in the group easier because there's so many of them. There's quite some activity going. And also because it's a group of 6 or 7 animals, sometimes the chances that one of those calls is higher than if there's a single moose around somewhere. So I find them rather easy to hunt because of these factors. So I'm following this herd, always the same buck, the dome. I'm clicking just those domes. I'm not looking at the arcs at the other tracks. And you can see on the hunter mate the cone that's going ahead away from my arrow. This is where the next track will likely be. And as long as there's a dotted line, as long as there is this dotted circle, they're too far away. Plus I have the time information which comes at higher tracking levels. So this one tells me 20 to 27 minutes still away. That's not too far though, and we might hear them soon. So this could be one of them. No, it's from a different herd. Nevertheless, because what I've said before, there could be bucks around if there's those. I'm using the grunt collar. There's also the bleat collar, which I haven't used in ages because of the annoying noise that it makes. So they're just over here. The blacktail doe that called is over here. They might be scattered. When they walk around, when they come towards you, the group can pull apart quite a bit. They can be up to maybe 100 meters away from each other. One coming first, the last one coming way back there. So you have to be a bit careful when you lure them towards you. Just try and keep an eye on everything. I think Redfeather is one of the nicer maps. I just love these pine tree areas. I'm looking at the bear. So it's walking away. The doe is walking away. There is no animal interaction, so The black-tailed deer has nothing to fear from the black bear deer. They can even bump into each other. They will just go their path, their way. They won't notice each other. So maybe one day this will come. This is what a lot of people wish they would see. They would like to see in the game, a bit of animal interaction. Deer running away from bears and stuff. Oh, that's actually a second bear. I thought that was the one we saw before, but it's a new one. Can I spot it? You have to see enough of the animal to get the spotting information. And this is an 8 times zoom, and with this one I got a 9 times. Maybe I can get the spotting now. Yes, I can get, and it's a smaller female. And I can see the doe now. Oh no, it's a buck. Yes. This is a good position for a shot actually. Now don't walk away. Just be patient, wait for them to stand still. You can shoot walking animals, you can shoot running animals, but the chances for bad placed shots is they're just too high, so just wait for them to stand still. Here is a doe, here is another one. Here they come. So I had the female calling and I called them over, and now I get more of them. I actually do see a buck. It's a rather heavy one, but not high scoring. No, it's not a heavy one. I was looking at the score. This is actually a lightweight buck. And the score is maximum of 90, 95. That's not much. If you want to shoot a great buck, it should be over 190 points. I have to be careful. Here's a rock I can lay on. What is this? Oh, look at this buck. This one's really nice. Actually, this one I would like to shoot with the 44 revolver because it's a really good scoring buck. It might be up in the in the high 160s. And the other buck maybe we can get later. So now we have to be careful. I'm gonna use scent eliminator. What's the direction I'm facing? I'm looking northwest. The wind is going northeast, so we're slightly upwind of the buck here. You have to be careful. And the competition wants us to shoot it from fairly close. And they're very alert. These big bucks are very alert of any movements. So I'll wait for it to come closer. And then I'll use my revolver with the improved scope that just came out a few weeks ago. Pulling out the rifle. Where's the other buck? There it is. And I hit it. Actually, I think it's going to die unless I hit the leg. So I did hit it. I don't mind my statistics. I shoot a lot at running animals. What I'm going to do now, I will mark the place. This is about where it ran away. I do this with the rangefinder sight, with the rangefinder binoculars. So I clicked and you can see the red dot on the map of the hunter mate. This is where I will go and pick up the tracks. So what is this one going to score? Very nice buck to start this hunt with. 166. Yeah, it gets me in the top 10 of the competition. Let's look at the rack here quickly. I'm not going to do a trophy shot, but quick look at the rack. That's nice. Now the tines should be a bit longer. The main beans should be a bit wider, so the span is wider. That's what makes the points. It's got all the points that it needs, but they're a bit too short, so that's why it fell a bit short with the scoring. Now let's go after the buck that we shot Wild West style. Oh, I apologize if you're from the Wild West and you don't do this. I don't know, but this is a maybe I should say road movie style. It's a habit of mine to always reload the weapons, even though this one has a magazine of 5 shots. I refill it. Looking at the X's on the Hunter mate, this was our old buck that we tracked until these guys showed up. So depends on how far this buck is going to run. I might come back here and pick up that track again, but it depends how far I run back now. I walk back. Maybe we will run into a new group. This is blacktail dominance up here. There's a lot of them here. I wouldn't be surprised if now, since we walk, we don't run anymore, we don't shoot anything, if we would get a call from something soon again, from a complete different new group. So you can see this track here and this, they are rather close to each other. This is where I hit. I probably hit it here. It doesn't say in the water, it doesn't show any blood. But as soon as you see tracks close to each other, something extraordinary happened, because usually the tracks are the same, pretty much the same distance to each other. So what did we hit? Intestines. Yes, this can happen. If you shoot from behind, you might hit intestines. If you shoot running animals from the side, well, it's about the same chance of hitting something good. The health says it's 50 to 66%. The elk have followed us. The alternative, of course, would have been to let the buck run, then go slowly after it. This is what you would likely do in real life. Here in the game, you can have any type of fun, including shooting running animals. The better your shooting skill with this weapon, the more stable the weapon would have been. So I have some weapons at level 20 where I can have more stable shots. This one I haven't shot too often. It's weighing a bit more, so hitting anything will be harder, especially running animals. What have we got here? New track, and to me the footprints look large enough to think this could be a buck, but it's on the hillside. That can be confusing. It is a buck, so you can tell by the footprints. This is a new buck. You can see there is a lot of blacktails. This one might be another. No, this is one we tracked already, and it's a doe. So we've seen tracks or signs of, well, 5 bucks so far actually. 2 we have followed, then 2 we have seen, and now we've just seen another one. And I can hear a deer. The blacktail does used to trot around when they were spooked. I don't know why this changed. After they were spooked, they would trot around a lot, and now they just run, stand, and they have the same behavior as the bucks now. Here is another one coming. Should I get the bow ready? Another blood spot. That means our buck is slowly dying. This one is smelling, sticking the nose in the air. I might be south of it. Usually that's a sign that they can smell you. Yeah, I'm just south of it. That's why it's testing the air, and it'll very easily spook now. It's more alert. Oh, there's my buck. So let's not bother with the remaining does. In fact, I want to spook these guys away. I don't want any more calls from you. Go home, guys. So, if we did everything right, then we should get a message from Doc now that this is the first out of 4 bucks that we want to collect. Here it is in the shadow. Friends over for dinner. So the mission is completed, or the task is completed. And this is where we used to be, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. No, almost. Over there. I'm gonna go north, actually. I talked about the very north. The other group is now a bit more distant. So I will check out this place. We just flushed a few does up there, but nevertheless, there should be plenty others around, so we can see a few more. Oh, it was fleeing 38 minutes ago. Maybe he was part of that group that was fleeing. Well, then let's just follow this one then. If it goes north, that's where we want to go. So you can always follow an animal even if you see old tracks. If nothing else, eventually you will catch up with this animal. If you get other activity, then that's fine too. I just quickly went into the options and turned up the volume again. Hello? Yes, I'm right here. This is rather close. It's one buck that we picked. We just picked up the second track of it. We had 2 red dots, so you must have seen one track somewhere. And now this is the second clue. And I'm just trying to think, where did we pick up the track of a buck? Just one of them. I think it was the one just pointing south a few minutes ago, maybe. But anyway, here comes the buck. We'll take it out. And in the light of the mission that is ahead of me, I'm almost hoping for this one to be a small one, so I can shoot it with the rifle and move on with the mission. If it's large and promising, I might be tempted to use the revolver again. Pulling out the scent eliminator, checking in the lower right corner, 19 minutes left. So I still have protection from this because I'm facing north. So I'm lying here. Well, actually the buck should be right over there. Looking at the map, there's really just a river between us. So the call that I just placed will attract any non-nervous animal, any non-nervous deer in the area. So usually I prefer more silent weapons. I mean, this one, when it comes over here, you could easily take it out with the crossbow, shooting it from the front very close, and you might still get more animals. But like I said, for the mission we have to fire the loud gun, so we can do this from any distance and we will spook everything else. So I will take this one out when it comes, pick up the track of the other deer again that we've been following, and continue north. When you see rocks like this, you can always try and use them. Yes, it works. You can go up here, get a little bit of elevation. This one is taking its time. Well, maybe we should look around in the meantime. See if there's anything else going on here. Not sure what keeps this guy so long. There is a doe coming to my call. Well, at least she comes in my direction. She might still be nervous from before. What do we have here? One of the two bears from before? Yes, the small male. Oh, now I'm thinking actually there used to be a buck where an animal would call and then go to sleep. And I'm wondering if that's the case here actually. Because I see nothing. I'll check a last time. But it's not sleeping time for blacktails. The preferred sleeping time is between 11:30 and 12:30. And this is, the information comes from statistics that people have taken. They've put the information into the forum. And when I looked at those times, they were all between 11:30 and 12:30. So I don't like what I do right now. Here I cannot crawl in the water. If the buck is not asleep, it'll likely spook now. Or it might have spooked already. But I've been really cautious, so I'm not sure. Listen, see if there's any walking. So I will walk where it called from. Ah, the bear goes the same direction. That's not good. Hello, bear. Please run. But not up into the woods, please. So the buck was up here somewhere. What the heck? I went all the way up north. It never thought about coming to my call. What else have we got? So maybe we have some fleeing tracks now, I don't know. Here is yet another buck. Yeah, something just ran away from me. I heard the stomping. So that's the challenge when calling and then moving into that area. The call attracts a lot of animals. And that's what I said. I don't like what I'm doing, but I have to find this buck. So hopefully we can spot that. This is a busy area for blacktails. If you like bow hunting or any silent weapons, or even just the loud ones, it doesn't matter. There's a lot of them here. It's a really great area for blacktails. Yes, please. Ooh, he moves fast. Make sure the weapon is ready. The deer have a good memory of the call, so they will follow a call for quite a while. It's not like the moose or the elk that will turn around after after 2 minutes. These actually keep coming for quite a while. So here is our hopefully next kill with the 308 Anschütz. Nice cover, buddy. He's far away enough so we can still move left and right here. But he's behind that hill. another good cover. But at some point I'll have to shoot you really. I've been just using a little trick. When you crouch, just move forward and your gun will not sway left and right. You have a very stable view straight ahead. It just sways up and down, but you have plenty of animal to hit. So I just been moving forward, so I don't have any sway on the gun. So you can hit animals easier when you do this. So then we have 1 of 3. We had 1 and we have now 1 of 3, which means 2 out of 4. And I'm not actually sure if this was our buck that we've been trying to lure before, because he was down here so fast. So I'm going to check out the red dot, see if there's tracks, because then I can know there's another buck still in the area. You can see the border coming up in the north of my Hunter Made map. This is the very north of Redfeather. You can see the map here goes all the way down. So we are up in the very north. Just again to remind you where this is. To me this is great blacktail hunting grounds. You can see this is quite a walk. So I was surprised to have this buck so close. And that's what makes me believe this was not the buck. The 2 calls came from 2 different bucks. Although I don't have any tracks here, so I guess this buck just proved me wrong. And he really moved this fast. Not a big deal, we'll move forward. Just going west from here. The chances for a moose or elk to call, actually I shouldn't even mention elk. The chances for even a moose to call here are so low. The next call is 95% will be blacktail. This is almost exclusive. There's black bears. Actually, to be honest, a bit surprised I haven't seen too many tracks. We have seen 2 bears walking around, but even up here there's bears. But these don't call, which makes it a lot easier again to find those blacktails. I used to have a bear bait barrel up here. It worked okay. It would always attract a few bears. I think I had even 4 or 5 sometimes at the barrel. But the disadvantage is you do the you hunt the barrel, and then you only really get blacktails on in addition to the bears. So if you want a bit of diversity in addition to the bears, then other places are better. So this one was highlighted. I'm thrilled to see what this one is. So I must have picked up the tracks of a doe. So there's 3 does traveling together, from what it seems. If they will call, there's no point in following them. There's no buck with them. Actually, I shouldn't say that because spooked groups can regroup. They actually do try hard to regroup. That's why you see trotting animals after they have spooked, catching up with each other. Just as an example, I just had coyotes on Loggers Point yesterday. After they spooked, I saw them trotting until the group had all found each other again, so they were again moving on as a group. New herd, new luck. Rather close actually. 100 to 150 meters away from us and an open area in between. Almost perfect. And they're south of us. So I'm gonna say perfect call. Actually, it should have been a buck. But otherwise, this is easy. They will come up here. I can see them well. And of course, bring your brother. I'm gonna move closer to them. I'm not patient enough to wait for them to walk over 100 meters. Plus, if I go down here where it's flat, I'll see better through the trees, hopefully. If it's a single doe, then we can use the crossbow, take her out, and move on. Of course, to remain silent and also to demonstrate the crossbow. Just checking for more activity. She's coming from here somewhere. Looks like so far she is really on her own. But only seeing her doesn't yet mean that she really is. So let's see if there's more. So actually now I'm keen to take her out soon, so that she doesn't take yet another call. If I can kill her now, then the next call would be from... too late. The next call would have been from another animal. Right now at 30 meters, we would have to aim between mark number 1 and 2. And it was a good hit. I think I saw bright blood. Yes, pretty sure it's a long shot, so she will not run very far. You can see the bright blood. Or maybe I'm wrong, actually. It's not long. Should have been, should be even brighter. Just body shot. But the arrows will always kill the animals. Here's a bear. So really shooting this crossbow with the iron sights after 30-40 meters, the instant kills get harder. Plus I shot rather quickly, so a good shooter can do better. We're approaching the river again. So I'm ready for the next buck, really. And there is a new one along the riverside. I still need to pick this one up. And I'm slowly losing the track of it. But right now my interest is in what's coming here. Where did it go? There is a buck. Excellent. So this group does have the buck in there again. And I thought I saw another. Yes, please. I thought I saw another dark skin back there. Which would be signs of another buck. Hello. 150 to 175. And if I'm not mistaken, I see another set of antlers in the background. Wow. So now we have 3 bucks. And I should take out the largest scoring, because the smaller the score, the easier they are to follow. So this is beautiful to have this in the video. I'm glad to have all 3 bucks here, or 3 bucks in one place, because really it's nothing unusual. This is the blacktail country. But then you start the camera, you start making a video, you cannot predict it. So this one is a good score, not super long beams. And now they're coming to me rather fast. I'd like to spot the third one. Ooh, oh, he's seeing me, he's seeing me, he's seeing me. I'll take him out rather fast, actually. And there goes the other. The other one is a small one. I had to be fast now. Once they see you, you don't do anything wrong or they will run. What you can always do is lay flat, move left or right behind the tree if you can, and then just hope for them to calm down. Or shoot fast, but really fast. I mean, this one would have stayed for another few seconds and then bolted. So what I'm going to do is I'll pick this one up. And I will follow the small buck, because that is easier to follow. And we should be done with this mission. Actually, open area. Maybe we're lucky. So one thing doesn't exclude the other. We will track it and we will spot the area quite a bit. So we should find this rather fast. $65 to $85. This is my buck. I'm rather sure. Because it's not a doe, it's too heavy. And it's not a large buck. It's too small for that. Although I have to be honest, I didn't remember the weight estimation of the other one. So the one we saw first, which we looked at. So, but I thought it was larger. Large scoring or high scoring blacktails will run beyond the rendering distance. You can see them, you can follow them with the binoculars. They will run, and then disappear. It's different with different animals how far they run, but the blacktails, if they're good scores, you won't see them anymore. You will have to walk quite a bit until you catch up. So what is what? Is this one coming or going? This track here, I want to know. It's coming in, so where did it flee? Well, let's go spot. This one's better, so let's see. I bring both binoculars if I have enough space, because they have both their advantages. The other option is, which you can always do, you can follow them a bit and then just wait, let them calm down, let them call. But if they have left the rendering area, that won't work. But I think the small buck will stay in the area. My problem is only I don't know where it is right now. Oh, here you go. So we have seen signs from, I want to say maybe 10 bucks. Somewhere around 8 to 10 bucks. We've seen tracks, or we've spotted them where we could clearly say they were unique bucks. It's 11:11 on the Hunter Mate. We started at 9. So 2 hours, 10 minutes real time, game time I mean, is 1 hour, 5 minutes real time. So in 1 hour, we've already seen a lot of blacktail bucks here. Plus we saw some bears, we spooked some elk. And this even with gunfire in between everything. So if you come here with your bow, you should have fun with the blacktails really. It's still running along the open river sides here. So there's a good chance we can spot it soon. And worst case, really? Did you see it? Where was it? This way? Thank you. Worst case is we have to follow it until we catch up with it. You can easily catch up with them. Just a matter of time, but it's not hard. The only thing is if they turn around after they have calmed down, walk your way, you will bump into them. But otherwise, I would think, yes, it's actually the larger of the two, which is there. So this is a good long distance shot we can do on the last. Oh, the other one is trotting there. Actually, I want to say this is yet another buck. These were two good-sized bucks or mid-sized bucks. I don't think any of these is which I followed, but we can go check. But number 4 is down. The 308 Anschutz has done the job. And we should be done with this mission now. In open areas like this, you can run with the glasses up. And as soon as the buck turns up, just stop, go down and go for a shot. Well, there's a blue track, so maybe the one I've been following was actually larger than what I thought. But the weight estimation of 65 to 85 didn't make me think it was a large one. So the one that ran again seems like yes. Anyway, I won't make I won't get to know you. I have my fourth buck. Oh, by the way, look at the skin here. This is more reddish. The other bucks that we shot were blackish, almost like the mule deer. This one is more reddish. This is a little bit almost. It's not a rare variation, but it's not too many of those. I'm not sure. Maybe 1 out of 10 of the blacktails have this reddish skin. Good job there with the with those that made the skin many years ago. And here's our fourth buck. Mission over. This was Redfeather Falls. Let's have a quick look at Whiteheart Island because there's blacktails too. Welcome back. This time we're on Whiteheart Island. This is the other home of black-tailed deer. And let's not talk too much. Let's get going. This will be shorter than Redfeather because I just wanted to show you where we can find bucks here. And the first one calls already. It took me 2 minutes to find a place in the sun to make an introduction, and that was enough for a blacktail buck to show up. I don't even know where to go here. I don't know where to hide. This is too close. No, let's call it over. The purpose of this one map is really to show you where they are. Let's do this now, actually. So this is the Whiteheart Island map. If you've seen my turkey video, this is all the setup down here, the fancy setup. But up here, this is blacktail area really. What also spawns here and what's also around is elk. But even later in the game, if you start down here, you come up here, even late in the game, you will not find many coyotes and turkeys up here. It takes them a long time to get here. This is really blacktail area. If you like Whiteheart and if you like blacktails, this is the place to be. And now I forgot if I called. I think I did. So what's really important is to pick up this mushroom. And then I will, actually it's rather close. So I will move over here onto that hill. And while I do that, I can tell you a little bit of history with the blacktails here. Whiteheart Island is the cradle of the evergreen hunting reserves. The first island where they started the game. And back then it was mule deer here on Whiteheart Island. It was the free to hunt animal from day one. It's still the free to hunt animal now. And when they started with this map, they placed the mule deer up here. So you would start here at the Causeway Lodge. You could just walk around and find mule deer very soon. So that's a good way to attract new players. You find your hunting, your free hunted animal rather soon. So you start liking the game. You start getting the gist of it, how it works. So they had mule deer up here quite a lot. And then later they swapped them with the blacktails on Loggers Point. But they didn't really change the spawn maps. So the mule deer used to be up here, simple to find, and then they swapped them with the blacktails. Now you can simply find the blacktails here. So really I wanted to show you here, you can walk from the Causeway Lodge west. I was hoping it wasn't going to be too long until a blacktail shows up, even just the doe. I mean, if you've seen the part on Redfeather Falls, if you have a doe, you have likely a buck with them as well. So any call would have been good just to prove this is a good place. I just got the spotting information. By the way, I have started again at 9 o'clock. I find this a good time. Again, sleeping times. Players have found this is from 11:30 to 12:30. So you have them really active here in the morning. There it is. Scoring says 130 to 155. What I really like about the blacktails, I really have to say that even lower scoring bucks. They still seem to have a nice rack. It still looks like a blacktail rack, or at least looks like the large racks. But then you look at the whitetails or you look at some other deer. The smaller animals have sometimes really weird racks. So in the shadow here, he looks rather dark. I was just checking twice if this could be a rare, but it's a normal blacktail. I've brought the bullpup for this hunt. It's a lightweight rifle. A lot of players like this rifle because it's lightweight. It takes 1 point less capacity than the other larger rifles, so you have more space for other stuff. And it's a really strong rifle. It's a weird looking but good performing rifle. And we have a buck down. After 6 minutes of playing, mostly talking, getting ready for the introduction. Discussing with the cameraman where I should stand for the introduction. So nevertheless, I'm gonna walk west here, hoping to find something more. But the white heart part will be smaller. I mentioned you find many of them here, but you can go down south towards the lake. You will still find them there too. Just down there, they mingle with elk, turkeys, coyotes, even whitetails come up to the lake. So they have quite a competition, and it takes a while for every so often you get a blacktail call, you get blacktail tracks, but a lot of other stuff as well. If you go after blacktails exclusively, this is a good place, as long as it's on White Hart Island. There's also a southern part of this map. There's 2 islands actually connected with a small string of land. And on the southern part, there's no blacktails. They don't even run there, flee there. I don't think I've ever seen one. Down there you have elk, coyotes, and whitetails. The blacktails are up here. Actually, what I'll do is to shorten this a bit. I'll run, I'll listen still for calls, and I will look for tracks on the ground. The tough part here is down there it's flat along the water side. Up here it's a hillside with lots of trees, rocks, brushes. Not easy to hunt here. If you get a call up here, it's not always easy to lure them into something open so you can see them all, you can check them all out. That's the harder part here with the White Hart map. On Redfeather, where we have been, you've seen that was a bit easier. And also here on this map, down where the lake is, they're easier to hunt as far as the terrain goes. We have a fleeing buck from our running, and we have a fleeing doe. Case proven, they are here. Small buck, lightweight buck, running into the open. So let's go after this. We get rain again. So the goal of this, the ending of this video here is to follow this, find it, shoot it, and that's gonna be it for the blacktails. It looks like it's spooked from the shot, not from the running. But this is likely another spooked, a fleeing track. Either this or the next. So from here it'll be a number of fleeing tracks. I'm gonna make a guess. There's going to be 5 fleeing tracks, given the size it has, and then it'll go back to roaming. Let's see how well I know them. 5 or 6 fleeing, and then it should go back to roaming. Although I've really run almost into it. But of course, if we see it sooner, we're not gonna count tracks, we're gonna shoot it. Just checking here. If it turned around, ran over there. I've never in my life shot an animal over there. Would be weird to have it now. Maybe it didn't even come down here. Maybe it turned around. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Ah, there it is. This is the 3rd fleeing track. And I would guess the doe that also ran would calm down rather soon and call at some point. If we keep crouching around here. There's a lot of towers on this map. They paid a lot of attention to those details in the early days. Lots and lots of hunting towers here on White Hart Island. You can take advantage of these towers whenever there's one nearby. So this is where it gets difficult now. This is the difficult area up here. 5 fleeing tracks so far. I've been counting. Oh, hello. This is a new buck. No, it's oh yes, it's the first call. That's why the hunter mate beeped. But it's our buck. It calmed down rather quickly. It's a small size, a small score. I'm pretty sure, given by the weight, given by the how fast it recovered. Zoom out. Let's see where it is. Let's use the revolver on this one. Fun enough, I don't see it yet. There it is. So we had 5 fleeing tracks as predicted. I'm not gonna go look if there were any more. I was right. I agree with you. I'm right here. We can chat a little, or you can just come up here now. Well, actually, I still owe you a kill with the crossbow. I never picked up that doe at Redfeathers. I couldn't do this with a large buck here. Crouching and then loading the weapon. A large buck would have seen me. This buck is just too dull. But now we also have a kill with the crossbow. It's the last one of this video. There is the buck. Looking at the clock, 9:36 in 18 minutes. Of course it was lucky we found 2 bucks rather quickly. Sometimes you look a little bit longer, but don't get discouraged. This is a good place. Hopefully this video was useful, and I've actually thought I'm not gonna do a blacktail video because it's not something that I was much interested in, but then I had a lot of requests actually from people asking for blacktail. So hopefully this was useful. Finally, I've done it. And thanks for watching. There will be more. Stay tuned. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed, never got annoyed. Thank you very much. Stay in touch.